I just saw this announcement about a new artificial intelligence translation system from Meta, the parent company of Facebook. And I read some of the claims they're making about it, and I thought we should test it out, just right out of the box. No preconceptions about what it is that it does. Let's look at their claims about what they're doing and give it a quick dry run here. So what is this? They say it's called SeamlessM4T. Not sure exactly what M4T means, but seamless means that it should be working without any problems, right? Okay, so natural language processing, bringing the world closer together with a foundational multimodal model for speech translation. And then it looks really cool. So you can input speech or text, and you can back speech or text in what they're saying is nearly 100 languages. So the world we live in has never been more interconnected. The global proliferation of the internet, mobile devices, blah, blah, blah. Okay, today we are introducing SeamlessM4T, a foundational multilingual and multitask model that seamlessly translates and transcribes across speech and text. SeamlessM4T supports automatic speech recognition for nearly 100 languages, speech-to-text translation for nearly 100 input and output languages, speech-to-speech translation supporting nearly 100 input languages and 35 plus English output languages, text-to-text translation for nearly 100 languages, and text-to-speech translation supporting nearly 100 input languages and 35 plus English output languages. Okay, so we're not going to test all of these. And in fact, we're just going to give it the simplest possible test, which is English to 3 other languages. In other testing that I've done for other translation programs like Google Translate from language A to language C that always pass through English, I found that the quality falls off pretty quickly. There are a lot of issues when you pivot through English, and we won't get into that right now. All we're going to do is go straight from English to a few other languages. Here I've just got a tweet. I searched for spring in her step, and I scrolled down until I got something that was well written that should be fairly easy to understand. So this will just be a fast test. Does Facebook's new AI give us translations that we can use? In this video, we're not going to look at the inner mechanics of AI in any way. And I should say that I have been using the ChatGPT AI for translating into French, and I've gotten results that I'm not displeased with. It always needs post-editing, but from English to French, I've been getting fairly good first passes. So I really don't want to say that AI is a bad way to translate, and there are things that we're doing in Camusi Labs that I think really can even bump up what AI can do for translation in a lot of situations. Subject for another video. So here's the interface for Seamless. Record input, start recording. Anna and Misty on the way back home after a walk in the woods. Anna has a spring in her step. It's either from winning yesterday or she knows she's got scrambled egg for breakfast. Translate. Okay, so transcribed what I said perfectly. Now, I already ran this test once when my daughter came home for lunch. She's back at school, but we're getting pretty much the same results here. And her reaction to "ce soir de gagner hier," her reaction was, at first was, "Oh, no." And then she kind of studied it and she said, "Well, yeah, you could do that. I could see how they would say that. I would never say it that way." So this is not what a human would produce, but it is something apparently that a human would understand. As an aside, after I did the first part of this recording, my daughter and I were talking about English words because she wants to build up her vocabulary. So we were talking about indefatigable. Now, indefatigable is a really tough word to say. It means untiring, that you can't be fatigued. So I asked her if she could spell it. And here's a little quiz. Can you spell it? Without looking at what other people have said, write down in the comments how you can spell it. Again, we're talking about indefatigable. And the question is, can you spell it? And I'll put the answer up at the end of this video. And her reaction to the Romanian was, "Oh, no, this is worse." We won't evaluate it word for word. She's not here. I can't check the Romanian. But we can look at the Swahili. That's okay. I would say Baria kutembea msituni without the katika, but that's fine. Ana spring katika hatua yake. So we have not even tried to translate spring into Swahili. The first time I tried it, it used the word for a spring bubbling up from the ground. It doesn't even work as a word-for-word translation, much less getting the multi-word expression. Na ama kutoka kushinda jana. Ni ama kutoka kushinda jana. Okay, that works. Anajua yeye got yai scrambled kwa kiamsha kinywa. Okay, it's either from winning yesterday, that's good, or She knows. So, yai is the word for egg. Scrambled is not the word for scrambled. Got is not a Swahili verb. Okay, so we are getting some sort of simulacrum of translation here. And a key thing that we want to look at is, did they get the multi-word expression spring in her step right? Well, no. Here, they use the French word en ressort, so that's the springy device. And here, on arc, so an arc in her step, which is, an arc. So in no cases do they have a bounce. In the previous go-around with Romanian, it used the word for springtime, but the real sense of the expression doesn't come through. So the artificial intelligence hasn't picked it up, and there are good reasons why it wouldn't, based on the experiences of the training data. There are good solutions to how to capture multi-word expressions correctly for translation. We've been working on at Camusi, but they are not possible within the current methods of AI. It involves a different approach to the data, and I will talk about that in other videos. But for now, we can see that just an ordinary sort of communication that somebody who's might send on Twitter or say in a phone call, is SeamlessM4T translating it perfectly? No. Is SeamlessM4T translating it adequately? Parts of it are spot on and parts of it are wildly off. So as with all machine translation, you really have to just kind of take it as advisory, not as actual translation. Is it seamless? No. Does it live up to the hype that Facebook is giving it? No. Are the people who are developing this technology working really hard, pushing the envelope, going in interesting directions that have a lot of potential? Absolutely. But when it comes to what the corporation is writing about their product, that's hype. I know it's dangerous to criticize things from Facebook. They do censor criticism of themselves. I once posted that they were bloviating about their language capacities, and they blocked the post because they said it was violating community standards. So this video might not be allowed to be shared on Facebook. Give it a try, see what happens. So I encourage you to go to Seamless and try it out. Just play. It's a fun toy. I would encourage you not to use this as your only method of translation. It's not there yet, and it won't be there tomorrow. Lots of great potential, has come a long way, but we're not talking about translations between 100 languages. We've still got problems between English and the big money languages, much less the non-lucrative languages, much less from one language to another that doesn't involve English. What do you think? I'm sure you have opinions, and I'd really be curious about some tests that you can run and put in the comments for languages that you know, whether it's other language pairs that don't involve English, or from a language to English, or from an English to another language. Test out SeamlessM4T, report back, and we can get a better sense of what's going on with this new program and add it to the mix of comparison to the other machine translation systems that are out there. Now, DeepN didn't know what scrambled eggs were in Romanian, because it turns out this is a dish that her mother had never grown up with and had never cooked with her daughter. But I checked with another Romanian mother who told me that the word is scrob. And let's pause for a second, see how the other translation services deal with this. Let's look first at DeepL. Scrambled egg, they say it is omleta. That's wrong. Omleta is omelet, not scrambled eggs. Google Translate, scrambled egg, omleta, same thing. I wasn't even going to try asking ChatGPT what is scrambled egg in Romanian. I went the other direction. So if a Romanian told me they were cooking scrob, what should I expect to see on my plate? And ChatGPT came back with, as of my last knowledge update in September 2021, scrob is not a recognized or common dish in Romanian cuisine. Okay, if you want to read the rest of the response, hit pause and read the rest yourself. Then I went over and asked the same question to Bard. If a Romanian told me they were cooking scrob, what should I expect to see on my plate? And this is a good performance from the AI. It's not a translation exercise, but they did have scrob in its vocabulary, and it was able to put together a really coherent response, building on that knowledge in combination with other things that its large language model was able to compute. Let's have a look. If a Romanian told you they were cooking scrob, you should expect to see scrambled eggs on your plate. The word scrob is a Romanian borrowing of the Turkish word, I will not attempt, which means scrambled eggs. In Romanian cuisine, scrob is typically made with eggs, milk, cheese, and spices. It's often served with bread or polenta. And there's more to the answer. You can see, I will just make a quick link to this. Create public link. Okay, now that's an ugly URL, so what I'm going to do is copy it, hop over to Comfupi, which is the world's best web shortener. We worked really hard in developing it at Camusi Labs, and it is now finally available for you or your organization to use to make your own custom short links, share documents with custom names, all sorts of things, but that's subject for another video. But here, let's call this one, just call this one Scrob. I'm sure this is the only time I'm going to use Scrob as a web page title. So I'll just copy the link here and pop that on screen. If we visit it, so there you can visit it yourself and get a little recipe, a proposed recipe for Scrob using the link I just made with comfupi.link. Okay, to answer the quiz, we were talking about the word indefatigable, and I asked my daughter if she could spell it. She started out I-N-D-E-F, you can see it right here, but that's the wrong answer. How do you spell it? Well, it is spelled I-T.